Growing up in Ottawa, Pat Norton was a small yet fast hockey player and captain of his community teams. He was always told he was too small and that he would never make it. His hero was any small player in the NHL, especially Martin St. Louis, who to this day stands tall in Pat's eyes. Pat is headed to the Olympics due to his incredible passion and resilience. And please welcome him to the show this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So great to have you here and learn more about your story. Tell us about your beginnings, playing hockey and being told you're just too small to make it.
Yeah, I was playing for the Nepean Raiders, and I was a small hockey player, and I just didn't quite have the size to help, take it to the next level, unfortunately. But that came along later.
Yeah, so because you're tall now.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm very confused because you're 6 foot, so I don't understand how you were small. But back in the day, kind of tell us how you were much smaller than most of your teammates.
Yeah, I had to have maybe 12 inches behind in growth, compared to the rest of my team. But it didn't come until maybe late high school into university when I really started to get some size and height and more athletic potential.
And what was that like growing up, being a smaller one on your team and being told you're just not going to make it, you're too small? How did that feel, and how did that kind of fuel you into your future?
Yeah, it certainly changes your mindset, and you have to rely on your heart more than anything. I think it really kind of bred into the kind of athlete that I am today.
Okay, we're watching some video of you bobsledding. Tell us how you transitioned from hockey to bobsledder.
Yeah, I think any bobsledder story isn't really a straight line. We all come from these incredible backgrounds of sporting history, and for me, I was looking for something to do that was more athletic in my my late 20s, and I found the calling for bobsleigh, and it was kind of all of my worlds coming together. And it's an exciting sport that kind of has that power and speed and team element. And my mechanical background also lends itself to working on the sleds and being able to help tinker as you would with them.
So tell us more about that, because you really love automotive and you're in the industry, and it kind of helped you be able to work on the sled? Yeah,
there's so many technical aspects to the sled and so much work that goes in behind the scenes, more than just the 55 seconds, down the track every time. So, we spend countless hours making sure the runners are polished up to, a mirror glass finish, and that the sled is running perfectly smooth. And we're looking for hundredths of a second in a really, small piece for the sport, just to find the gold medal.
And there's some connections as well, because there's a former Ottawa Red Black who's now part of your team, and a lot of CFL connections throughout the bobsled community.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been pretty fortunate to find some high-level athletes from the CFL. Keaton Brugling is one of my current teammates, as well as Shaq Murray Lawrence, more of them coming from the CFL. But yeah, it's a power and speed sport that also kind of comes into our sport as well.
I bet. What's it like that first time that you ever went down the track? Do you remember the feeling? Because I'm like, are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you like, what just happened? Like, let's do that again, or I'm done.
Absolutely. Yeah. The easiest word to describe it is intense.
Yeah.
But it's a balance of emotions. There's excitement of, the speed and intensity of what just happened, but also a bit of fear. You're in the back of the sled. Everybody starts in the back, so you're looking down at the bottom of a carbon barrel. There's not much going on other than G-force.
I bet. And you're just like, do I just hold on and pray for dear life?
Yeah, pretty much. You're giving your life into the hands of the pilot in front of you.
Yeah, and now you are the pilot.
Exactly. Yeah.
So how did that transition happen?
It was something that I knew I wanted to do from the get-go, getting into the sport. I'm a strong athlete, but if you want a longevity in this career, you have to kind of hop into the front seat. And so it's something that I did. And yeah, it's been a long progression from racing my first World Championships as a brakeman in my first year to getting to race multiple as a pilot. But it takes time and patience to be able to learn how to drive the sled and then start driving even the bigger sled like the 4-man with a lot of confidence.
And so what is preparation like right now as you gear up for the Olympics?
Yeah, it's a big year. So the Olympics are coming in February, and we've spent this off season. I spent much of it training here in Ottawa. We relocate the team to Calgary because we have an indoor ice push facility, pushing being a really big aspect of the sport and the only opportunity to accelerate the sled. So we spend a lot of time making sure that we get a lot of technique work and work with the team together to find hundredths of a second. And then come October, we'll transition to on-ice sliding in Whistler, our home track, and start the sliding season from there.
And for other athletes out there looking who maybe, you know, having a disadvantage in their sport, maybe they're too small or maybe they're actually even too tall, because that can happen in some sports. What would you like to say to them, or what message would you have for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just keep pushing. It doesn't mean that it isn't for you. It just means that you have to find every ounce and will to make it happen.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and we really appreciate you coming on to have this conversation and learn more about your story, and best of luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.